It's just, it either works or it doesn't. It really depends upon how much time and effort you take working on yourself, your act, your perspective, the way you deliver it.
We always had to win. In Van Halen, we had no choice. We had to win the battle of the bands. It was competitive.
Yeah.
We had to win over the club owner. This was before there were dance systems. Serwin Vega hadn't figured out those bass bins yet. You had to have a live band. 5 45-minute sets a night, please.
What was your motherfucker closer song where you knew a band couldn't go on after you?
LaGrange.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were pretty good at anything. We had no development phase. I have tapes of us at the Hilton Hotel in Pasadena in 1973. You would, if I didn't tell you, you would think it was 3 years ago.
Wow.
Kind of a sound. There's virtually no development.
How'd that happen? How did it work that way?
We had classical training. Right? And this kind of speaks to what we were discussing earlier, in that a lot of my colleagues are having a great time making music and they celebrate, and it's the word fun comes into it. And we grew up in classical music backgrounds where you had to challenge for first chair saxophone. Every 6-8 months, you got to go to the conductor and say, I want first chair. And if you're first chair and he thinks I have a shot, he's going to come over to Joe. He says, Roth's talking about you.
Ooh.
You both going to play this piece in front of the orchestra next Wednesday. You best practice. Okay? And we'll both get up and we'll both play 18 bars of the same piece. You dig? And there just may be a switch in front of 120 people. All of them colleagues, all right? We learned from in music school, the racy stuff was big band, all right? If you're, in terms of, we played rock and roll in parallel. But big band, it's got a square vibe to it because it wound up in elevators and restaurants and whatever. But they had cutting contests, and there was nothing more cutting than Benny Goodman versus Chick Webb Big Band at Roseland Ballroom. That shit is on. People would bet on it. They would play the same 4 songs. You play your version of it, and we'll play ours.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. A throwdown, a big band throwdown.
Oh, yeah. And it was furious shit, too. It wasn't like friendly.
Right. They were
and
serious.
The dancers would stand in the middle of those sparks, and that's where you get that.
Yeah.
These postures. That stuff. Like this, okay? And the dancers were competing. The Lindy Hoppers competing. Wow, Frankie and, all these guys throwing. So it was competitive. And we learned that's how you do it. My 2 mentors in music were first and second chair clarinet in the LA Philharmonic. And it comes from that. Also, you have a whole different vibe that I'll take a Grateful Dead approach, which is the complete opposite of that. Competition, man, leave that at home, bro.
Yeah.
Whoa, we're here to celebrate and I completely understand. That's where I'll go after work.
Right.
Take my vest off. Put my guns down.
They took a totally different turn, right? They said, go ahead, tape all of our shows. Come, sell food in the parking lot, man.
We had to win. We didn't eat. Boxing for money is different than boxing for fun.
Right.
I learned that very early. And we learned it through music.
Yeah.
Some of the folks learn it in the ring. Other folks learn it in their first few days in a law firm, and they join a team.
It's interesting the way you describe it with music, because I try to explain that to comedians. I say, think about how much time a musician has to spend practicing and how little we spend practicing. Our practice is in front of the audience for the most part.
It's a simplified version of the a simplified version of the how many hours rule is the 10,000 hour rule. You've heard about this. That's a very simplified version. Okay, that's digestible. 10,000 hours, I don't know. You break that down. What's that take? 6 years, maybe, something like this. The true Asian paradigm is 10 hours a day, every single day for 10 years. If you have a little kid and he's got to have heart surgery, you want that guy.
Right.
It's right around 30,000 hours. If you're going to go flying in a helicopter over New York City, you want Captain Paulie Tramontana. It's about 40,000 hours. Okay? My dentist, Dr. Glassman, who teaches, is a 40,000 hour man. Okay? So if you ever crash or get pelted, give me a call. I will hook you up.
All right.
It's about 30,000 hours. And that's 10 hours a day, every single day for 10 years. And that's what creates a jet pilot, a great surgeon, a great writer.
Yeah.
Anything in the arts and letters. That's the architect. Unless you're a prodigy, and if you bungle that in typing, it's tragedy very easily. So,
yeah, prodigies and tragedies often go hand in hand. There's something about people that get things very easily that for whatever reason it slips through their fingers more quickly as well.
When my dad was an eye surgeon, okay, did well, and when my sisters wanted to go to college, he said, "I think that's a great idea," and made her pay for it.
Oh.
Yeah, she wouldn't value it if she didn't pay for it herself.
That's probably right.
I signed my first contract when I was 13, $150 stereo, and 3 records. I worked all summer shoveling shit at the local horse stable. It's where I learned Spanish. I don't know that you got to do that. You learn the same thing from sports, right?
Yeah.
Your kids do sports?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Martial arts, and one of them's really into gymnastics.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are they competitive in it, or do they enjoy themselves?
Yeah,
Are they on team like they're on tournaments? Or
Yeah.
And is that something that here? I'll back up. I'm leading up to something. Can you guess?
Yeah, I can. I think you always are.
Folks are starting to recognize certain traits in me, as in I really like the getting ready more than the actual show.
Really?
The actual show, I'm making fun here. I'm being poetic.
Right.
But the monitor blows. The guitar player's pissed. The spotlight's on the wrong guy. I have a cold. But that 6 weeks leading up to it, remember the rehearsal we did of the thing? And hey, when we recorded the track over that, remember when we got measured for the shoes? That fucking, it was great. And it's, where did we eat after that? I got to go back there. And.
Yeah.
I always sought to make those rehearsals and whatever as memorable as possible, because you can do a whole lot more of getting ready than you are throwing the punch.
Yeah.
Ask anybody on one of your shows.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You have such a great insight for that, though. You know, some people, they even if they're aware of it, they're not consciously aware of it. They're not focusing on all these details.
The getting ready is as much of a, if the band says they don't like rehearsing, you're doing it wrong. Hey, man, it's like, if you're sitting on your laurels, you're wearing them on the wrong part of your body. And, first off, where are you rehearsing?
Right.
As in Miami? No. Where are you training? Hawaii? Cleveland. Okay, let's talk. Because even in Cleveland, you can turn it into your place. Do you follow? What is your routine? You follow? What music did you listen to? Do you dig? How did you warm up? Simple things. You know, most people are terrified of singing when they go into sing an album. I don't care who it is. The first verse is always a little tight and the second verse is a little better. Why? Because they didn't warm up.
Right.
All right? And the idea of, well, go in and sing along with a dozen of your favorite songs. Put your headgear on. Get the reverb to sound out. For me, that starts with Motown. I'm a soul growler. I'm closer to Wilson Pickett than the guy in the Rolling Stones. That was love, baby. I don't know what that sounds like on the headphones, but you know, I spent many. I'm going to put the headphones on here.
Go ahead. There we go.
Loud, babe. Yeah, that's right. I started sounding like that when I was 12. I started practicing that when I was 12. I started imitating the Persuasions, Jerry Butler, the singer, when I was 13, much to the cantor's chagrin in Hebrew school. Okay, again, parallel existences, you know. I'm Jewish, but we always walked around with little buttons back then that said, never again. I'm a combat hippie. Peace, love, and heavy weapons. Some people don't believe. Sometimes you got to get insistent.